Hi, friends. Happy Monday. As always, I wanted to take a look at all of the physical manga that I read this past week. I will say I did read more digital than physical last week. I was trying to do progress on my blog, so I spent more time writing articles about manga that I've read in the past and just forgot to write about. And I wanted to sample some of the new series digitally, so I read about those too. So if you're curious about what I'm reading and don't want to wait for my reading recap for my digitals on Tuesday, then I recommend checking out my blog to see what I've been reading. But okay, so I read 4 physicals and I did read 2 English actually, 2 English, 2 Japanese, and I did get a manga order coming in. So I read the 2 Japanese manga that I read were not on my TBR list. They just arrived and I was so excited that they arrived that I did not use my TBR whatsoever, but that's okay. And I wanted to introduce a new kind of rating scale. We're going to try it out. We're going to see if I like it. Usually I don't really like reading manga because I feel like everything I read, even if I don't particularly like it, has good about it. So I don't like saying like this was a 2-star book because like what is that, you know? I do give my book stars on Goodreads sometimes cuz you have to. But I'm going to try a new kind of rating system. We'll see if I like it. I might give up on it. We'll see. So the first one I read is this one. It's an English Tokyo pop called I Was Reincarnated as the Heroine on the Verge of a Bad Ending, and I'm Determined to Fall in Love. This is a reverse harem series. Our main character enters the body of the female lead in an otome game, who just so happens to be, as the title suggests, on the verge of a bad ending. And so, in the magical world that she's now found herself in, she goes to a magic high school. People's ranks are determined by their magical prowess. So, how strong their magic is, the higher their rank is. She is unfortunately an F rank, the very worst. So she wakes up in this new body, realizes like she's kind of screwed, so she has to do what she can to figure things out so that she does not get the worst of the worst endings. This guy on the cover with her is her brother, okay? They also have a step sibling, but as far as I can tell, these two are blood related siblings. And apparently, before she entered the body of the heroine, these two siblings had a terrible relationship. So now that she's entered the body, she has none of the previous memories. The brother is using this to his advantage to become close to her. Does he want to be a good brother? Is he a male lead candidate? It's not quite known yet. So we have our female lead trying to first figure out who the male lead candidates are because she doesn't know. And then she is trying to raise her rank with them. So it's her kind of guessing who could be the male lead. So, like, princely character, he's probably a potential male lead. Let's be nice to him. Kind of vibes. There's like, it's okay. It's strictly okay. I'll like it a lot more if her brother indeed is just a helpful brother, nothing sinister, nothing insidious, just a good brother. If he's more than that, I'm probably going to drop it. So we will see. I do like her as a main character. I do think she's funny. I like how she didn't fall into despair as soon as she realized she was on the verge of a bad ending. I did like that. I'm a little bit confused as to apparently the magical system, so like how strong her magical power is determined by how much the male leads like her. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I understood. I don't get that. I don't get likability equaling magical power. I don't get that. But again, we'll see. I've only read the first volume, so we'll see. There is the stereotypical like stepsister villainess character, and her driving motivation is that she wants to marry the brother. At least she's a step sibling. Makes it a little bit more okay, I guess. And so the stepsister hates the real sister because the stepsister thinks the real sister also wants to marry the brother. And the real sister keeps saying, like, I don't want to marry him. Like, he's my brother. You have him. Like, go away. But the stepsister doesn't believe her. So that's her entire motivation for being a villainess. That I don't like. I think, like, if you're gonna be a villainess, have a good reason to be a villainess. Like, I would understand if stepsister was trying to get with the stepbrother, and the sister got in their way. Okay, maybe. But the sister's literally saying, like, have him. I don't want him. She's not doing anything. And the stepsister is still being villainy. I don't get it. So that's this one. Okay, let's try to rank it. So here is my ranking criteria. I'm going to look at the story and the plot. So basically, did I like the story? Do I think the plot's interesting? Gonna look at the characters. Do I like their designs? Do I find them engaging? Do I like their chemistry? The art style? Do I like the art? The emotional impact of the story after I read it. How did I feel? Did I feel something? And pacing. How was the pacing? I do find that to be very important. That will affect if I like a book or not. Okay, starting out with the story. Number one, did I find it engaging? Yeah, like there was no point where I felt like I wanted to read faster or skim through. I did find myself reading every single speech bubble and everything throughout, which is a good sign. That means I was enjoying it. Is it cliche? I mean, technically, yeah, it is a reincarnation into an otome game series. So, like, yeah, but it didn't bother me at all. Like, there were no, like, overly cliche scenes that really bugged me, at least that I can remember. And then, does the romance progress or does it feel rushed? No romance in this volume. So, we'll see. All right. So, I'm not going to give it like a 1 out of 10 or anything. Just overall, did I enjoy the story? Yeah, I enjoyed it enough. I read through it and I liked it. Number 2, character depth and chemistry. Are the main characters well developed and relatable? Again, I did like our female lead as the protagonist. I did like her. I liked how she pushed through everything. She didn't get sad. She did everything she could. She stood up for herself right away. I do feel like she could have done a better job standing up for herself, but nevertheless, she did stand up for herself. Do I find her to be relatable? Maybe. I don't know. Sure. The other main character, I'll put her brother as a main character just because he was a pretty big part of the volume. Do I find him likable if he stays as her big brother and only her brother? Yes, I did really like his character. I liked how he kind of made a point where he brought up the fact that they used to not be close and now he's happy that they are able to be close. He kind of pushes the stepsister to the side so that he can spend time with his actual sister. I did like that. Like, I did like the fact that whatever was blocking them from having a good sibling relationship in the past has now left with her memory loss. So I did like that. Hopefully the relationship stays this way. Is there believable chemistry between the love interests? We don't know. I don't know the love interests. Do side characters add depth to the story? So there is one prominent side character in this story who is a, I guess, new friend to the female lead, and I did like her. She made a point of telling the female lead that, like, hey, I see you're actually really, really trying to improve yourself. I respect that. Let me help you. Let's be friends. And I did like that. I liked her introduction. I liked basically everything about her. We didn't learn really anything about her, so I will say that. But overall, I did like her, and I'm looking forward to seeing her because I feel like she's going to be a prominent side character. So overall, did I like the characters? Sure. The only character I really didn't feel anything for and would kind of like negate my feelings toward the characters is the villainous stepsister. I don't get her. I don't get her motivations. I think she's really, really weird. Why does she want to marry her stepbrother? Everything about her I don't like. She does feel a little bit like cartoonishly mean. Like, why are you being so mean to your that's the only character I don't like, but I didn't dislike her enough to say that I don't like the book, I don't like the characters. She's just one aspect that I didn't love. Moving on to the art style. I did like it. So, do I like the art style? Yeah, I think it's pretty. I think for like it hits the standards of what I want my shoujo manga to look like. It's not like the most amazing art in the world, but I was very like I really did enjoy it. It is very pretty to look at. I do like it. The backgrounds typically are nice. A lot of the time, though, it is just like a black background with some like kira kira. But again, it's a shoujo series. I'm not looking for like, I'm not going to dock it points because there isn't overly detailed backgrounds in every panel. I did still like it. And then, do character designs fit their personalities? I think so. Our main character is a very sweet girl, and she looks like a very sweet girl. Her brother is kind of cunning, and he kind of looks it. So I do think so. Sure. So overall, the art, I think it's good. Number 4, the emotional impact. Did this make me feel anything? No, not really. I will say I was engaged throughout it. I had fun when I was reading it, but after I read it, it did not stick with me. I didn't feel like anything big. Are any of the romantic scenes lasting? No, there were no romantic scenes. So overall, emotional impact, there wasn't really any. And then pacing and readability. So was this easy to read? Yes. It was very easy to read. Do I feel like the story was well paced in that like there wasn't a ton of action at the beginning and then nothing throughout the rest of it? No, I do feel like there was a good pace. Everything, it was easy to read. I did enjoy my reading experience with this one. So overall, would I recommend this one? Sure, as long as the brother stays her brother. Moving on to my next English read is this one here called MADK. This one is kind of a notorious one. This is a BL horror psychological series. The only type of BL I read, apparently. This one I'm reading in English. I think there are only 3 volumes out so far. I have only read volume 1, and I really need the rest of the series because I really, really did enjoy this one. This one is kind of controversial, I feel. So, content warning, I guess. This is a series about a boy. I'm gonna try really hard to be like diplomatic when I explain it because it's kind of weird. But it's about a boy who has things that he wants to do that society thinks is strange, is how I'll put it. So, in order for him to be able to do it, he conjures up a demon and makes a contract with the demon saying that if you allow me to do this, then I will give you my soul. Demon says, sure. The boy does what he wants to do. The demon finds him interesting, takes him down to the underworld, and basically makes him his pet. And he tells the boy that, like, I want to make you a demon because the boy is very like twisted. He has a weird personality. Like he has the makings for a good demon. So the boy is now in the underworld, kind of at the demon's bidding. And the boy kind of flip flops between, I don't want to be a demon, but I'm also happy I'm not in the human world anymore. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And now that he's in the underworld, he has to figure out the ropes because nobody's really going to teach him. The demon that took him there, who sees him as his pet, really does see him as his pet. He finds him entertaining. He doesn't see him as a true companion. He wants to watch and see what he does. And we see the boy actually kind of like he gets on well in the demon world. Like he fits in very surprisingly well to the point that some of the other demons are kind of disturbed by him because he's creepy. And that's Mad K. Again, very, very broad description of it because it's kind of weird. I say, but I still did like it. So, moving on to my readings of Mad K. This one I'll use slightly different criteria for because it's not romance. Technically, it's BL, it's not romance. Okay, starting off with the story. So, is the premise original or memorable? Yes. I'll never forget reading this. Never ever. Next one. How well does it create tension, dread, or just general unease? I will say this does a fantastic job of kind of flipping between like calm, kind of not happy, but like neutral emotions to did that really just happen? Like, oh my God. So I do think it did a very, very good job of creating, like, you're never fully at ease because you know something really weird or like scary is going to happen, which I really did like. So I will say for the story overall, like A plus. I really, really did like it. This is a weird one. I keep saying it's weird. It is weird, but in a good way. Moving on to the art style. How effective is the art at conveying fear or just like psychological unease in the characters? I think it does a really, really good job. Especially, it does a really good job at making the male lead feel like creepy because sometimes he'll be so like emotionless, like nothing behind his eyes. He feels a little bit demonic, but he's not actually a demon. The art style does a really, really good job at conveying like the creepiness just kind of lingering in him. And then it also does a good job at conveying other demons' emotions when they're like, what's wrong with this kid? Like, I do really, really like it. Are the character designs done in a way that convey the creepiness? Also, yes, the main demon definitely looks how a demon should. He often has like these really creepy expressions, but they're not like actually all that creepy. They're just kind of weird, but they feel correct to him, if that makes sense. So I really, really liked the art. Yes. moving on to the characters. Are the main characters relatable to me? No, they're not. But do they feel like real characters? Sure. Like, I do feel the male lead or the protagonist, yeah, that could be a real person. Like, honestly, I do feel like when what he does on Earth, somebody probably feels that way. Like, it doesn't feel all that out there. When he goes to the demon world, like, obviously demons aren't real, they're not relatable, but the boy could be relatable to somebody, I'll say that. So, overall, did I like the characters, or do I feel like the character creation or the character writing was good? Incredibly good, incredibly so. I do feel like if demons did exist, they would resemble the ones in this book. I can feel like that. For creativity or like scariness, did this actually scare me? No. But I do feel like the scary vibes were scary. I do feel like it did do its job as a like psychological horror. While I wasn't scared, like if I were to picture if this were happening to me, I would be terrified. So it hit me with that. How unique are the horror elements? I'll say they're unique. I can't say what happened. But there's one scene in particular near the end, if you've read it, you know, that yeah, that stuck with me. That would have been terrifying. I don't think I would have come back from that. But the boy does, and like he's fine like 5 minutes after it happens. Like it's scary how quickly he gets over it. And then did this do something new with the horror genre? Maybe. I don't know. Out of this is like very unique. I have never read a horror series like this one. So I will say I do think it's a good addition to the horror, psychological horror genre as a whole. I do feel like there's merit in reading this. And then lastly, reread value. Do I think this is worth a reread? Absolutely yes. I think this is a fantastic series. After I read all 3 volumes, I will definitely do a reread. So, in general, do I recommend MADK? Yes, but only if you like horror series. Cannot stress this enough. If you're not a fan of horror, I do not recommend the series. Okay, moving on. Very, very exciting for me. I finally got my hands on the Butler manga. This is called Oshiete Shitsuji-kun. There's only 1 volume out right now. There are no English editions that I know of, even digitally yet, because this is a brand new series. This one, if you've been following my videos, I have been struggling to get my hands on so long, but Amazon finally got this back in stock and I bought it and it arrived and I read it right away. And I was a little bit concerned that I had been hyping it up in my head for so long because I wanted to read it for so long and I couldn't. That like I had hyped it up too much and then when I actually read it, it would let me down. It wouldn't live up to my expectations. Thankfully, this far surpassed my expectations. I was so happy with this one. It ended on a kind of cliffhanger, and now I'm upset. Now I have to read on. This one I might read on digitally and then pick up the next physical just because I like it that much. I cannot say enough good things about this one. So, overall, what's this about? We have our female lead, her, who has been in love with her family's butler since they met. It's been like 8 years, I think. She is the only daughter of a very rich family. And he was the first person to really tell her, like, hey, like, you kind of have a bad personality. So he keeps her in check, and she really, really needs that. So she's been in love with him, and, like, that's basically the overall plot of her trying to push her feelings onto him and him being playful and kind of dodging everything she says. It's it's a really, really charming series. The female lead, Kikyo, is the kind of fit character that, like, yeah, like technically what she's doing is inappropriate, but her personality is so like cute and bubbly that you want her to be happy in the end. And the butler, you never technically know if he likes her or not. He kind of evades everything and he manipulates her to be a better person. So like he tells her like if you pass your next exam, I'll do literally anything you want, like literally anything. You want to get married? We'll get married. You want to run away? We'll run away. So naturally, she passes her exam. And it's such a cute series. I'm so happy I got it. This is my top 10, maybe top 5 of the year, new series. I'm so happy with this one. So let's read it. So, in terms of story and plot, is the story engaging? Yes. I've I read the sample for this like 3 times, and then I read the volume 1, and I'm probably gonna reread it within the next week. It's so much fun. I love their relationship. They're kind of it's not really banter, but the way they talk to each other, I just love it so much. It's such a good series. Is it cliche? No, no cliche is found in this one. Does the romance kind of progress naturally, or does it feel a little bit rushed? I won't say there's no romance in this because there is a lot of tension between the two. And the tension does feel very natural. There's nothing like there's slow build up happening throughout the entirety of the volume. And you get the backstory where she's already been in love with him forever. Character depth. Are the main characters relatable and developed? Yes. Both Kikyo and his name is Zen, or like Zenichiro. I think it's Zenichiro. I'll just call him Hanayagi because that's his last name. So yeah, double check in. So both of them are very, very likable. They're both very different personality wise, but together they just go so well. And I really, really like them. In terms of side characters, we do meet Kikyo's, I think she's her best friend, and Kikyo, her best friend, and Hanayagi all go to a cafe together. When Kikyo leaves for a second, the best friend goes like right into Hanayagi being like, what are your intentions with her? You need to stop. Like, you need to know your place. She's such a good best friend because she sees Kikyo like obsessing over him every day of her life for the past like forever. And she knows that he's kind of playing her along, like he's keeping her on a string. He's never let her know his actual feelings. And well, it is funny. Like, I do feel for Kikyo where like, just tell her how you feel. Like, it's inappropriate, sure, but like, tell her how you feel. So I do think all of the characters really that appear in this series are likable. Even Kikyo's father, we only see him for a little bit, but he's so funny. When he sees the two of them kind of close, he just automatically assumes that they're dating, freaks out, sets up a matchmaking event so that Kikyo can meet different men at the recommendation of Hanayagi. And he turns down literally every single man for the smallest thing. Like, have you had a girlfriend before? No. X. You have no relationship experience. How are you gonna lead my daughter? Or like, how much money does your family make? Like $100,000 a year. X. You make less than me. How are you gonna take care of my daughter? Like literally everything. He can find something to fault in the man and pushes them along. It's so funny. So overall, do I like the characters? Big yes. Art style. Do I like the art style? This one is a little bit unique from a lot of the other shoujo series that I'm reading in a good way. I do really like this one. It's not overly like kira kira, and I really do like Hanayagi's character design. I think he kind of has these dead eyes, kind of, and it just works for him. I really like him. We see him both in like butler attire and his normal university clothes because he's a university student. I didn't realize that. And it's just there's something about him. Maybe it's the gap between like him wearing the tux and wearing normal clothes. I just love his design so much. Kikyo is a cutie. I like her design too. So overall, do I like the character designs? Yes. Emotional impact. Did this make me feel something? This made me laugh more than anything, and I was rooting for Kikyo the whole time. It's engaging me. I want to continue reading. I want to see her find happiness. Are there any like really strong romantic scenes in this one? Yes. I don't want to spoil it, but near the end, something happens that I really liked, and it was like. And then something else happened, and then it's a cliffhanger. So like it was like a high tension scene, and then it was brought up even more, and then cliffhanger. Which is why I'm reading on digitally. So overall, I'm emotionally invested in this one already. And then lastly, is it easy to read? Yes. Its pacing is very, very good. Something interesting happens every single chapter. There's always like it's a roller coaster. Like tension goes up and down and up and down. It's very fun to read. It is not dragged out whatsoever. So yes, I would recommend this one to everybody. Please go read this one if it ever gets an English translation, please. Okay. Last one is another one that I was really, really excited to read. Volume 2 of Tokoton Kuzuna Watarase nanoni. This one is a series I really love. This one only has 2 volumes out right now, and it's a Bitsu Fure one. I thought it was dessert, but it's not. This one is a series that I really, really love. Volume 2 was quite a bit different in tone, I'll say, compared to Volume 1. Volume 1 more so followed the female lead, and we established her relationships with everybody, while Volume 2 again follows our female lead, but this time it kind of focuses more on the differences in the worlds that her and Watarase live in. So the lead, Nonoka, is the little sister of a comedian. And being the little sister of a comedian, she doesn't really feel like she belongs in that world. Even though literally everybody in the world loves her and accepts her and invites her in, she doesn't feel like she's really a part of it. Versus the male lead, Watarase, is like one of the biggest comedians, I guess, in the city they live in Tokyo. So while he's super popular, loved by everybody, she doesn't feel like she really can like stand in that world with him. And it's a really big point in this volume where she's kind of grappling with that. And it's really really interesting. I really do love her. In this volume, she actually ends up joining a club at school, and this bothered me a little bit. I'm gonna rant for just a second. Slight spoilers. So two boys come up to Nonoka. Okay, they approach her. They see that she's watching one of the comedy specials that Watarase did. One of them says like, "Oh my god, you love his comedy group. I love his comedy group too. Actually, we're also in our own comedy group. We're doing like we're in the comedy club at school. You should join." She says, "Oh, I actually work like as a professional, like on set because she has a part-time job at Watarase's company. I actually work as a professional. Like I know some of the stuff. Like she can compile videos, she knows how to edit stuff, she can do some stuff." One of the two boys that approached her is like, "Oh my god, like you need to join us. Please join us. Like help us, please." The other one just tells her, "You only like Watarase because you think he's handsome. You're a fake fan, and I hate you," basically. Like he's really, really angry for no reason whatsoever. And Nonoka's like, "You guys approached me. Like, what?" But because she wants to be welcomed in the comedy space, she asks them, like, "Please let me join. Like, please let me help you." The nicer of the two is like, "Thank God, like, please help us." The meaner of the two is like, whatever. What's his problem? I hate him. I hate him. He needs to go away. So she joins them, and he's kind of a dick to her the entirety of the time. Like, he sucks. Like, he really, really sucks. And I hate him a lot. But she's working really hard. Eventually, okay, big spoilers. Warning. She works really hard. Eventually, she lets it slip that she is the little sister to one of the two in his favorite comedy group. And he's like, "Why didn't you tell me that sooner?" And she was like, "Because you were really mean to me the entirety of our relationship. Why would I tell you? I didn't have a chance to tell you. You're always yelling at me." And then their relationship gets better. And I hate him. It shouldn't matter if she's related to any of them or not. You shouldn't assume that she just likes him because he's handsome. What if she actually does like his comedy, which she does? I think he's stupid, and I think he really needs to go away, and I hate him. And I'm gonna be really upset if there is a love triangle introduced, because he doesn't deserve Nonoka at all. He doesn't deserve to be a part of the story, and I hope he goes away. Okay, rant over. Okay, let's talk about my ratings. So, plot wise, is the story engaging? Yeah, I could rant about it forever. I really enjoyed this volume. Is it cliche? I don't think so. I think the introduction of the like potential triangle is a little bit cliche, and I hate him and I want him to go away. But I don't think it's overly cliche to the point that I don't like it. Does the romance progress naturally? Yes. I Especially in this volume, I was frustrated watching the romance because it's progressing naturally. I want it to move just a little bit faster, but it's not. But there will be payoff in the end. So I'm like, I'm chill with it. So overall, I like the plot. Character depth and design. Are the main characters well developed and relatable? Yeah. I feel like Nonoka could be a real girl. I really like her. I do feel like Watarase is a little bit like he has like, I'll say it's male lead syndrome, where like he does stuff that no man would. Like he goes above and beyond. No guy would probably do that. I wish guys would do it, but they probably wouldn't. But as a male lead, I really like him. Just he doesn't feel all that real, I'll say. And are the side characters well used? Do they add anything to the story? They add my anger to the story. But I do think they're appropriate, like they're needed. They do what they're supposed to do. So overall, do I like the characters? Yes. I think they're well used, I'll say. Art style. Do I like the art style? I love the art style. I think all of the character designs are so well done. Everybody's so pretty. They're so uniquely drawn, but also uniquely pretty. I really like them. Do they fit their personalities? Yes. I think so. They're all very, very stylish, though, I will say. I feel like Nonoka is a little bit too stylish for somebody who grew up in like very rural Hokkaido. But maybe like you move to the big city, you want to be fashionable, so you look at fashion magazines and everything. I can see that. So yes, I like the art. Emotional impact. Did it make me feel something? I felt anger. And kind of frustrated, but in a good way. I really am excited to continue the series because I felt so much. This one really, really has me. It's holding me. I can't get out of it, but in a good way. Are there romantic parts that really made me feel something? Is there like any big romantic parts? There is one scene. There are two scenes actually. One at school and one at the beach. And that's all I'll say because I don't want to spoil it, but they were really, really good. But again, they were lacking a little bit. I want more romance. Overall, though, I'm very emotionally invested in this series. I really do like it. And then pacing and readability. Is the pacing good? Yes. I will say, very, very good pacing. I read through this in what felt like 5 minutes. It was over before I started because it was so interesting the whole time. There was like all of the events were placed in good spacing from each other, I'll say, where I never felt like there was too much happening at one time. Everything was spaced out pretty well. Nothing felt rushed, nothing felt dragged on. I do feel like the pacing was perfect. So, yes, I do think it's very readable. So, overall, do I recommend this? Absolutely. This one, I don't know if this one has an official English. I feel like it might have one on K manga, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to look into that. This one I feel, because it's a little bit older than Oshiete Shitsuji-kun. This one I'm pretty sure doesn't. But I feel like this one might. Let's look into that. And that's everything I read. I really, really liked everything I read. Again, I didn't read all that much physically. I spent more time on my digitals this time around, which I will talk about tomorrow. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I am going to be busy this week, but I do still want to film my digitals when I can. And that's everything I read physically. Thank you for watching.